This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. It is November 16th, 2022. We're performing a video sewer inspection through the 3-inch ABS plastic mainline sewer cleanout. On the left-hand side of the front door as you're facing the house, in the planter area, there are two cleanouts, one on the left and one on the right. This is a 3-inch ABS plastic cleanout that is on the left-hand side. And this is going out toward the street. We're in the bushes pretty much. And this is going back toward the front door of the house. As I said, we're in the bushes. This is going out to the street. I'm going to set our camera right at the opening of the sewer cleanout. I'm going to zero out our camera monitor. So there's a main sewer line and then there's a branch sewer line. We're going to begin running through. We have ABS plastic. We're going to begin running through and we're running out toward the street. We transition right away to what appears to be cast iron from what we can see. We'll see here in a minute. And a little bit of an offset in that joint, but not terrible. A little bit of debris on the camera lens. Now we transition to what appears to be vitreous clay. There's an inlet here on the left hand side, which I believe that's the inlet from the other side of the house. We'll be able to see a lot better. There we go. We cleared the camera lens, but we'll be able to see better once we rinse off the camera lens. We got a crack here going all the way around the piping. This is at about 10 feet 7 inches on the camera monitor. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. Don't believe we have that long of a run. We'll find out here. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. We have some root intrusion here at this joint at 22 feet and looks like a fairly substantial offset as well. We'll locate that on the way back and mark it out. Making a turn. Can't see much in the turn. Next joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Making another turn. We have a substantial offset there. Pretty large offset. Let's see if we can jump over that. Moving down, we have another offset. We have another offset and pretty good separation. We're holding a little bit of water back there. Then we have some root intrusion here. We have root intrusion in this joint. Next joint has a little tiny bit of root intrusion and a minor offset, not terrible. Next joint has some root intrusion on both sides of the pipe, holding back a little bit of water. Next joint has root intrusion as well in the joint. Can't see a lot of the joint because it is covered up. Got some debris, build-up, scaling. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Coming up to another joint, we have quite a bit of root intrusion in that joint. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition as well. That joint's got a fairly substantial offset, dropping in, making a turn. Another offset at the city sewer saddle connection, and then we're dropping into the city sewer. Rinse our camera lens off. We're going to begin pulling back. We have quite a few root intrusions. We have 5 or 6 root intrusions. We're going to pull back and trace it. There's the city sewer saddle that's in the street. That's a considerable offset. I would say that a CIPP, cured in place piping top hat sewer liner, should be installed to keep it from shifting further. But we also have another offset in the joint right back behind it. This is in the lateral in the street. We're going to continue to pull back now. And that's a root intrusion, I believe, in the street. So we're going to pause for a minute and locate this area. We're about 4.5 feet out on the last joint. I'm going to push back out a little bit. Okay, this joint is approximately 4.5 feet out from the curb on the right hand side of the house, lined up with the kitchen area. We're going to begin pulling back out. Can't really see what that joint looks like because of all the root intrusion. We're going to pull back. We have another root intruded joint we're coming up to, and we're going to locate this area. So we're going to pause again for a moment, locate this area. Okay, we located this area in the parkway, and we marked it with an orange flag at 6 foot 11 inches deep. We're going to continue to pull out. This is in the city lateral. We have another joint with root intrusion. We're going to locate and mark this area as well. Okay, we've located this area as well. This is in the parkway, adjacent to the sidewalk, right by the city side of the sidewalk, and we are at 6 foot 10 inches deep. We're still in the city lateral. Continue to pull back. Got a little bit of water running. Somebody's in the house. We have a minor bit of roots in that joint. It doesn't look terrible. Had considerable amount of roots in this joint. Even was difficult a little bit to pull back. We're going to locate this area and mark this area. Okay, we marked this area on the house side of the sidewalk in the grass at 6 foot 10 inches deep. Going to continue to pull back now. Making a turn. Coming up. We've got an offset right there. A fairly large offset. Our camera's hitting it. We have to kind of jump it to get over it. We'll take a look at the rest of the line coming back. Making another turn. I think we might have a little crack in that area. Then we have roots, major offset, and major roots in this area. So we're going to pause for a moment and locate this area. Okay, we located this area in the grass a few feet, about 5 feet from the other flag. It was next to the sidewalk. We marked this with an orange flag, 3 foot 1 inches deep. So we're going to continue to pull back. Joints appear to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. Pulling back toward our clean out on the left hand side of the entranceway to the house. Do have a crack there. Have a crack in that joint. And we're going to pause. We're going to locate that area. Okay, we located this area at 2 foot 5 inches deep and marked it with an orange flag. This is right on the left-hand side of the walkway, the entranceway to the front door, right up against the planter area. There's a stone planter. So we're going to continue to pull back now toward our mainline sewer clean out in the planter. We've got an offset there that's in the planter area. Then we got an inlet there a little bit. And another large offset in the planter. And then we transition back to cast iron. Now we're pulling out. Transition to ABS plastic pipe and fittings. We're pulling up and out of our mainline sewer cleanout. Now we're going to relocate our camera to the other side of the property, on the right hand side of the property at the front, and we're going to run through that cleanout. So we're going to pause for a moment while we relocate. Okay, we relocated our camera equipment, and now we're right outside to the kitchen area. This is the kitchen sink. Kitchen sink inside. This is going out toward the front of the property, going out toward the street, and on our left is the garage. We're going to zero out our camera monitor right out at the opening of the ABS plastic cleanout, which is in the bushes. You can see kind of buried back in the bushes by the planter area. Zero out our camera monitor. Okay, we're going to begin running through our line here. We've got some cobwebs, nothing major. This is ABS plastic. Trying to make the turn. Doesn't seem to want to make that turn real easy. Gonna wipe our camera lens off again. We got a lot of debris on our camera lens we can't see. And try and get the camera going downhill. There we go. Once it's pulled over on itself. Okay, now we've got it running out toward the street. We got some water running. Take a look. Kind of double back over on ourselves a little bit. Got a large offset here. This is our cast iron. So we went in from ABS plastic, transitioned to a short section of cast iron down at the bottom. Try and keep pushing in. If we pull out, it's going to be very difficult. You can see the whole face of the pipe right there. The connection wasn't real clean. And this area is actually at the planter, right at the face of the planter. Going to continue to push out. Have another substantial offset right there in that joint. Kind of hard to see. We're going to try and push all the way out. We have some root intrusions. We're going to try and push out, clean our camera lens off, and then we'll go ahead and locate everything. We have several root intrusions. We're making a turn. And I believe we're in the main right here at about 20 feet. We're going to go ahead and run out, rinse our camera lens off, do a little bit of locating, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look at the line. Making our turn, dropping into the city sewer. And now we'll begin pulling back. Okay, and there's our city sewer tie-in connection right there. Looks like we might have a little bit of a crack at the end of the saddle as well. That's the city sewer. And this is our tie-in connection. Appears there's a little tiny crack at the saddle and an offset. Pulling back, there's another offset in the next joint. We had some root intrusions coming back at the curb area. Was the first one. There's our first root intrusion by the curb area. We have another one a couple feet back, which is at the sidewalk. There's the one at the sidewalk area. That's on the city side of the sidewalk. Then we have another one on the house side of the sidewalk. Now we have a offset there coming back toward the house. We have a root intrusion here. We're going to stop and locate this. Looks like we might have a little break right there too. I'm going to pause and locate this area. Okay, we located this area, and this is where we already marked it with a flag. It is on the house side of the sidewalk, and we marked it with an orange flag right by the sidewalk area. So we're going to continue to pull back now. Making a turn, coming up, and we have a fairly substantial offset right near there, and we're coming back toward our clean out on the right hand side now. Pause, we're going to locate this area. Push back in just a little bit right there. We're going to locate that. Okay, we located this area, and it is in between the two flags on the grass area that's straight out from the city sewer. We're going to continue pulling back now. Take a look at the line and mark out any issues. So we had a minor root intrusion there. The next one, we have a crack. We have a crack and root intrusion. So we're going to locate this area. Okay, we located, marked this area. It's the middle flag on the grass area, the major grass area, to the right of the walkway, the entrance walkway to the house. We're at 5 feet 1 inches deep. We have roots and a crack there. We're going to continue to pull back now. Coming back toward our clean out, we have more roots. More roots in this joint, and it appears that there's a crack because the roots are inside the face of the pipe. So we're going to pause for a moment and mark this area. Okay, we marked this area at 3 foot 1 inches deep. There's roots and a crack in the piping. Marked it with an orange flag. Coming back toward the mainline clean out on the right hand side of the house. So we're going to continue pulling back. And we have another major root intrusion right back behind it. We're not going to mark that area. That area is about 6 inches back. Now we better mark that area. That area is a major root intrusion. So we're going to pause and mark this area. Okay, we located this area at 2 foot 10 inches deep. Major root intrusion in that area. Could be cracked. Can't really see what the joints look like. There's an offset in there a little bit, but there's a pretty large offset at the top. You can see the whole face of the pipe. Can't see anything at the bottom. So that's a pretty substantial shift. We continue to pull back. minor root intrusion at the top. There's a break here. We can see the break at the top of the pipe. So we're going to locate and mark this area. Okay, we've located this area and we marked this area. There's a break at the top of the pipe, 2 foot 4 inches deep. And it's back by, it's about 2 feet from the planter area in front of the clean out on the right hand side of the house. So we're going to continue pulling back. A little offset there. The transition from cast iron to clay right at the planter area was not connected real well. There's a gap right there. Now we're pulling back and coming up and out of our ABS plastic clean out. Now we'll conclude our video sewer inspection. Thank you.